go and get started then. Hopefully you're all here for our Disney Princesses panel, is that correct? Awesome. I do see some people in line, so we do have 2 microphones here available for you all. Just a quick reminder, we do allow photos, just we do not allow actual video recording, okay? Without further ado, from Broadway to the big screen to video games, there are voices we all have heard and love. Please help me welcome Disney Legend Award winners Linda Larkin and Paige O'Hara. We're going to do a quick photo here, so go ahead and kind of look very animated.
Thanks, guys. Wow, nice turnout. How's everybody doing?
Good. Thank you for being here on the last day, the last hours. Thank you guys so much for staying with us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, first and foremost, thank you so much for joining us here today. I know that you guys have a very busy schedule, and to take some time to come out and meet some of your fans here in Arizona, we greatly appreciate it.
Oh, I'm loving it. It's awesome. We've had so much fun here, I don't want to go home.
Yeah, we really have. I know. I wish I could stay one more day and enjoy the sun. It's raining in New York.
Las Vegas, I'm used to the heat. I love it.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and start it off with a question, and then we'll move on to the questions on the floor.
Okay.
So the first question goes out to both of you, whoever wants to answer first, but what got you started in this business, in the voice business, and is there any type of stories that you'd like to share with us about it all?
Well, you know, I've always been an actress. I started acting class when I was just 3 or 4 years old. I always knew that's what I wanted to do. And then around 12 years old, I realized I could sing. So then I started the singing lessons, and then I went to a performing arts high school that my mom was the director of, which was really amazing. And but I always knew that it was what I was meant to do. So I went to New York at 17. And that was scary, but at 17, you think you can do anything, right? And I went to school, and I sold my paintings. I'm an artist as well, and I sell my paintings on the street of New York and clean apartments to pay my rent. And my parents basically gave me $300 and said, "You're on your own, do it." And it was hard, but you know what? As I worked and I was poor a lot, you know, it made me appreciate it that much more. And I got my first equity job a year later, and I created the role of Della in Gift of the Magi. And I was very fortunate to have some wonderful roles. I played Ellie Mae Chipley in Showboat with Donald O'Connor, and that was my first Broadway lead. So it was pretty cool, yeah.
I had a slightly different start. I didn't know I wanted to be an actress. I was a dancer, and I really never even dreamed about being an actress. And as a dancer, I went to New York. I was taking a ballet class, and the teacher said, "I want you to meet this kid's agent." And I was like, okay. And I met the agent, and I was like, "So I'm a dancer." She said, "Great, I have an audition for you for an after-school special. She's a dancer, but there's no dancing." And I was like, "Okay, what am I supposed to do? I don't know." And she's like, "Act." And I was like, "Okay." And I started acting, and I started taking acting classes, and I just found a whole other expression that I didn't know I was gonna be able to explore. So it was really a surprise for me, but a really good surprise.
When you were natural, you had the natural instinct, of course.
Yeah, I think
you did.
so. I had a natural gravitation to the stage, and I just had only ever explored that as a dancer and not as an actress. But
that's so cool.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. Let's go ahead and take it off to the first question over here.
All right. So, hi, thank you for coming. I just want to say that I've been a huge fan of Disney my whole life, so this is awesome. Belle's always been my favorite, so, and I'm actually doing
She's my favorite too.
Thanks, Liz.
I'm doing Beast and Belle with my girlfriend. We're working on the costumes, so she couldn't
wonderful.
be here, but she wanted to say hi. So,
Aw.
and so my question is, you guys are doing Wreck-It Ralph, and you've got all the princesses together. What's that like? Is there gonna be? Is there any chance there's gonna be a song in that? Maybe.
I wish. I wish they'd have to hurry up and get it done. But
Or a song today?
Put it this way.
I'll give you a few lines if you want. I don't know. It's so gonna... Okay, guys. You know, most of you know I'm an artist with Disney now. I'm not really doing the stage thing that much anymore. But if you'll help me out, you know the opening song, right? Will you be the townspeople? Okay. Ready? Okay. There goes the baker with his tray like always. The same old bread and rolls to sell. Every morning just the same since the morning that we came to this poor provincial town. Oh boy. Okay. I need to warm up more for that part.
Thank you. We're going to move on to this question over here.
Hi, I just want to say I love you guys so much. We grew up like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. But this is especially for you, Linda. This is especially for you. What was it like working one-on-one with Robin Williams as Genie? What was it like?
Thank you for that question. It is the perfect question. That was the best day of my life to that point. I've had other great days, like my wedding day, but that was like top 5. It was incredible because I'd grown up watching Robin Williams on Mork and Mindy. I don't know if anybody here. So I was a huge fan as a kid, and then the movie Dead Poets Society. I don't know if you guys remember. It was a big movie for me. Like that was my age group, and when I got to meet him in person, I was just so excited, and I was blown away by the kind of person he was. He was everything you see and more. So it was...
Everybody says, even just in person, he thinks funny, doesn't he? I mean, he just thinks funny. Everything he says is funny.
Oh yeah,
and you got to record with him, right?
Yes, we recorded together, and really I have to thank Paige for getting to record with Robin, because Paige will tell you something very special that they did, which made me recording with Robin possible.
Well, Robbie Benson and I, we asked if we could record together, and that was a no-no. It always took a lot more time, a lot more money to do that. It was much more complicated, but consequently, it made the relationship of Belle and Beast so much more enriched, and there's so many more levels to the characters as a result of being together, with ad-libbing together and sharing it together. And so that was the first time that they let that happen, and then they let you do that with Robin Williams. I mean, how cool.
Yeah, because our movie was next. It was right after Beauty and the Beast, and we all got to record alone, but also with every actor we were in a scene with. And I didn't realize it hadn't always been done that way. It was because of Beauty and the Beast that it was being done that way. So, thank you.
Oh, I'm so glad. That is so cool.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sorry, hold on. Okay. Hi, so I played like a potted plant in the stage version of Beauty and the Beast. So I was wondering if you guys were enchanted objects, you can both answer, what kind of enchanted object would you be?
Oh my gosh, that is so hard.
That is definitely a
All right, do you have any ideas?
An enchanted object. Well, what would you be? The one that you played or something else?
Well, I thought it was super cute as a flower, so maybe that. But anything that really like relates to your spirit as an object.
Oh, okay.
Ballet shoes. Because I'm not a ballerina, and I'd like to pretend I could, and if they were magical, they'd make me look like a ballerina like you.
I think I would choose wings, or something that flies.
That's a good answer. That's a good answer.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Hi. My question for you, both of you, was what is your favorite musical?
That's really hard too, because I have a few favorites. Do you have one?
Yes, okay. No, you start.
If I had to pick my absolute favorite, and I have like 5 or 10, because I'm a huge Jerome Kern fan, Rodgers and Hammerstein fan, but I think Gypsy is my favorite musical. And I actually, when I was 17 years old, I would sneak in at intermission to watch Angela Lansbury play Mama Rose. And every single night, she stopped the show with Rose's turn, and it was just the most amazing thing. I'm surprised I never got kicked out, but they just kind of recognized me and knew I was poor actors and just let her come in and watch. I'd stand in the back, and you'd see a bunch of unemployed actors standing around in the back watching. And it was so cool all these years later to work with Angela and talk to her about her character. And her Mama Rose was different than every other Mama Rose because she played Rose as the child. Louise was more the parent to her, and consequently that made her so much more lovable as Mama Rose, because Mama Rose can be very abrasive, as you know the play. But she was my favorite to ever play it, so that was really, really cool, and be able to tell her that. And she told me when I told her that was my interpretation of how I saw her, she said, I wish the New York Times had said that. I love that.
I'm glad you gave me time to think because it's so obvious. My favorite is a chorus line. I've seen it a million times. I love that.
That's your background.
And it was because
Yeah.
all these dancers, and it was based on the real stories of these real dancers, and it just always resonated with me. But I couldn't think of it right away. But when you started talking, I was like, oh, I know what my favorite is. That one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
First of all, thank you guys for coming to Arizona, and I love Belle and Jasmine.
Thank you.
Of course. I thought it was really awesome that you guys both returned to your roles in the Kingdom Hearts video games.
Yes.
And I was just curious how you guys got approached for that and what the recording process was like for you both.
Well, the Kingdom Hearts for me was just a one-day, 5-hour session, I think it was. But it was great, and they just called my agent and said, we really want you to do it, and I was thrilled. And of course, all the friends of mine that had kids that are into those games, I was like a superstar. It wasn't, Belle didn't mean anything to them at that point, but Kingdom Hearts, that was cool, you know? So that's pretty much what it was, but I'm so glad I got to do it.
When we got cast, we didn't know what it was yet, because we're pretty early in the process, so we were like, they don't really tell us what it is that we're doing. They're just like, you're recording Kingdom Hearts, and then
you get
discover
that.
it. We learned from other people what it was that we did.
Yeah, I didn't realize how big Kingdom Hearts was at that point, but
Huge.
it's very cool in retrospect, isn't it?
So cool. And the recording process, Paige said it was 5 hours. Sometimes we go in and we record for 20 minutes. Like there are projects where it does, that was a lot. I said, are we doing the movie all over again?
I know, it was a lot of copy.
Much copy.
A lot of copy, yeah.
Tons. So it was a long day for Jasmine. It was a lot in the first Kingdom Hearts.
Awesome, thank you.
Thanks. Hi.
Hi. I just wanted to ask if you're going to be in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Are we?
I wish we were. Why don't you write to Disney and tell them you want us back?
Yes. I don't think we are. Unless they're going to surprise us, which does happen, because they could take something that we recorded from
before and then put it in there. They do that a lot, where they call them pickups, and they'll pick up certain lines and put them in a new project, and that would be really cool if they did that. But I would love that. I hope so. You know, the Wreck-It Ralph 2 was a total surprise. In fact, when they called, my husband laughed because he thought they were kidding. You know, all the princesses together and what is the connection? And we just thought they were kidding, and it turned out to be real. And it's something that's never been done before, where they've had the princesses interact together. I mean, even as an artist with Disney Fine Art, they don't allow me to paint the princesses in the same scene. If I do the princesses on a canvas with Fine Art, they have to be in their own background of their own story. So this is a big first for Disney to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.